Hello friends and welcome to Adam's Farmhouse Kitchen. Today at the farm we're going to be making homemade pumpkin puree, just like Granny used to do. So stay tuned. For over 145 years, the heart of my family's farmhouse has been the kitchen. It's where stories, food, and traditions have been passed down through generations. Join me as we create new memories, one dish at a time. Welcome to Adam's Farmhouse Kitchen. Welcome back, everyone, to Adam's Farmhouse Kitchen, and we're going to get started. The first steps in making your homemade pumpkin puree. We have this beautiful Cinderella pumpkin. Look how vivid orange and vivid red it is, and this is perfect for making pies and purees, anything really. These pumpkins originated in France, and so we're going to use the old chicken axe today. This comes in great and handy to cut this bad boy up. No, I'm just teasing. So we're not going to use that. We actually have a proper chef's knife. So we're going to start by cutting up this pumpkin. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off these can be quite tough. So we're going to cut off that stem and we're going to put that over here in our bowl. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this pumpkin right down the center in half. Now we're only going to be using about half of this pumpkin today because we're only going to need about 3 cups of pumpkin total for the puree that we're going to need for making our homemade pumpkin pie, Granny style. So we've got our pumpkin cut in half, and these are so beautiful. These pumpkins are just gorgeous. We're going to put this one off to the side, and then we're going to cut this down the center again in half, and we're going to need to cut it up so it bakes a lot faster. I've got the oven preheated already to 375 degrees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in half again, quarter it, and make a little bit of a smaller piece. And these are pretty tough, so you really have to get right on them sometimes. So we're just going to cut this one up a little bit as well. And it smells so good. Just love the smell of fresh pumpkin, and they're slippy, so you gotta hang on right on to them. So we're going to cut this center out here a little bit and get all of that seed and flesh out of there. See how easy it comes right out. And like I said, you can actually take these seeds, and if you want to, you can plant them, or you can bake them and make some toasted pumpkin seeds. See how easy that comes right out? Look at that beautiful thick flesh on there. And we're going to cut that one in two as well. And I've got this baking sheet. It doesn't have to be pretty all that much, but we're going to put our pumpkin on there as we cut it up, and we're going to put its flesh side down. Remember that. So just start putting that on there like that, and we're just going to take out some of that. You can almost do it. It's almost got the consistency of a cantaloupe, but it's a little bit more dense. But look, see how thick and fleshy that is? And that's what you want. That's going to make some excellent pumpkin puree. So let's go ahead and get the rest of that cut out of there like that. You don't have to be real fancy when we're doing it like this. We're just wanting to get it roasted off. Now that we've got our pumpkin on here, flesh side down, we're going to pop this in the oven for about an hour on 375. And then when it's done, I'm going to show you how easy it is to turn this into the puree that we need for our homemade pumpkin pie. So stick with us. All right, well, our pumpkin is all baked now. And so let's take a look. I had taken it out of the oven, and we're going to take the skin off and let it cool a little bit more before we actually make the puree. So it turned out great. I'm going to show you here. You can see our freshly baked Cinderella pumpkin, and it is really, really fork tender. So it is perfect. It's always nice too to let it set for 10 or 15 minutes once it comes out of the oven. So it's going to be pretty hot, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to peel that skin off of there. And you may want to let it cool a little bit more before you do that, but we're going to take our chances here, and get that skin peeled off the best that we can. So it doesn't have to be real pretty, because what we're going to do is we're going to let that cool some more. So the skin just comes right off. And you can let it cool a little bit more if you want, because it is pretty toasty. Oh, Mother Dixie, that's hot. It sure is. So see there, we're just peeling the skin off. Just like that. You want to make sure and get all of the skin taken off of it. And it smells like pumpkin. It reminds me of when I was a little boy in this kitchen, cooking all those years ago with my granny. The smells, they were just wonderful. So I'm just going to kind of take a little bit of this water that's come out of this. Actually, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to just let some of that drain off of the pan here. Really good. And then I'm going to let this set over here and cool. I may put a little bit of paper towel in there just to kind of help absorb some of that moisture that's come out of there. And once we allow this to cool down for half an hour or so, you can let it go longer if you want. We'll check it again there. And then we'll make the puree. All right, folks, we're back, and we've got our pumpkin nice and cooled. We've got it skinned. We've got it nice and dried out. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put it in our food processor, and we're going to make our pumpkin puree. So I like to just go ahead and start off by putting some of it in like this. And by putting that foil on the sheet pan, it catches all of the liquids and it makes clean up a snap. So we're putting our beautiful Cinderella pumpkin in the processor here. Now, Granny used to use her old Osterizer food blender. That's how she would always puree her pumpkin, and it took forever. She steamed hers, and it's so much quicker to roast it in the oven like this. So we'll just plop that in, and that should be enough for our puree. And we'll just set this off to the side here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid now on, and we're going to puree this until it's nice and silky smooth. All right, here we go. All right, look at that. What a beautiful orange color. And that's going to make some really good pumpkin pies. All right, so now we'll take this off of here. Set that off to the side. And then we're going to transfer the pumpkin into this this dish here, so we can put it off to the side. All right, so there you got it. You have your beautiful pumpkin puree, and we're going to make us some pumpkin pies here shortly with it. So stay tuned.